Hi you guys, and welcome back for another episode here at All Things Muva. If this is your time returning, thank you. But if this is your first time here with me, thank you as well. Thank you for coming, thank you for joining. They say your most important supporter is the one you ain't got yet. But thank you. Allow me to introduce myself if this is your first time. Sorry you guys. The topic that's at hand is very personal, so like my body temperature is already at nerve. But you might catch me wiping my face here and there where I feel me getting a little moist at. But like I said, introduction. Allow me to introduce myself. If you don't know me, my name is Zanaya. I also go by Mother Queen. I also go by Queen. I go by just plain Mother. Call me what you want, but don't call me a bad mother. Yes. So like I said, this episode is real personal. I will be telling you guys about the time I battled depression. I like to call it my postpartum depression, because whereas postpartum, they say it's roughly right after you have your kid, I call it my postpartum because this was about, I want to say, from the 7 mark to, I want to say, about a little around the time he turned 1. So during that time, no, seriously though, but during that time, I was dealing with so much. I felt like the weight of a lot was on my shoulders. Like, I felt like, I'm trying to put this stuff in words for you guys, but it's a little hard because, like I said, these is my personal feelings. I have not came out and had this conversation with anybody. Y'all getting exclusive, a Mother exclusive. But during this time, I was dealing with a lot. My son was coming up on 1. Like, I was dealing with a very, very toxic relationship. Great friends, not meant for each other. I was trying to portray this image to the world that everything was what it wasn't. I was hiding things. I felt like the weight of everything was on my shoulders, honestly. But I felt like I didn't have anybody. Like, I felt like I was losing my best friend. I felt like, oh my God, so many different feelings. When I think back on it, it's like, I can't really talk too much on the topic because me disclosing my business, which I don't care about because that was a battle I won, to me, is also disclosing somebody else's business, and that's not okay. That's something that I did learn at that time as well. I would feel like, well, it's my business. If I want to tell it, oh well, like, but it was like, during that time, I was in a dark place. Like, inside of me, I was in a very, very, very dark place. I felt like I didn't have anybody. I felt so alienated. But the worst part about it is the alienation came from myself, because where I did have people that supported me, I wouldn't reach out. I wouldn't say nothing. Like, I would just keep whatever I was feeling inside. Like, I bottled up, climb in my bed, pull the covers over my head. That was my defense mechanism. But during all of this time, I'm still raising a baby. Like, and shout out to my mom, because I would work, I don't know what shift you would call it, but I was working from 4 a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m. I started working immediately after I had my son. I had my son in February. I had a C-section. April, I was working, and not sitting behind the desk working. Like, I was doing manual labor. Like, I wasn't working long hours. However, the job I was doing was a lot on my body. I was working at Newark Airport, where I was doing the wheelchair agent position, where pretty much whether it's gate side or curbside, you would take the passenger to their gate or you would take the passenger outside, or whatever. But a lot of people, during this time, I wasn't eating. I'd go to work and then come home. I'd say I was tired. All honestly, I just didn't want to deal with the world. If it didn't entitle me doing something for my son, I didn't want to do it, whether it was anything. If it was anything that wasn't for my son, I didn't want to do it. It was like, I wouldn't want to get out the bed if I didn't have to go to work. If it wasn't me going to the food store to make sure my son had food, I didn't want to do it. During this time, I'm paying all the bills in my house by myself. My mother is helping me by keeping my son, so I wasn't upset about that, but it was like I was doing everything alone. I felt like there was other people living in my house and I had no help. If the lights got shut off today or tomorrow, I had to figure out a way to get it on. My sisters were there, don't get me wrong. However, they got their own lives. One sister's all the way in California. One sister, she got her own lives and she going through her own stuff. But it was like really dark during that time. Like, it was to the point where I had an argument with a person and they said some shit about being a mother, and it triggered like emotional. Cause like I said, during this time I'm going through my own shit and I'm depressed. I'm fighting depression. Don't know that that's what's going on with me because I didn't educate myself. I'm like, oh no, I take care of my son. Like, to me, I take care of my son was I can't be going through depression. However, with me not wanting to deal with the real world, me shutting off everybody, I was mean to people. Like, I was mean during this time, and it was like, it was ugly. To me, I was very ugly at the time. Like, I was very, very ugly at the time, and it was like I was doing stuff intentionally to hurt people. I didn't like the person I was. Like, I don't know. It's not that I didn't like, because I thought it was okay at the time. I don't now like the person I was. Like a dark cloud that kept following me, and it's just like that's how I felt. That's how I felt. It was a lot going on in my household, relationship wise. At this time, I was roughly around, like I said, 8 months. Pretty much the person I was in a relationship with was pretty much in a relationship with somebody else as well. I can laugh about it now because I'm over it, but at the time it was like a lot. It was like I said, I don't want to get too deep into details of what was going on because, like I said, it's not only my business, it's other people's business as well. So I'm just gonna leave that at that. But like, it was to the point where I would tell my sisters, like, pretty much damn near a few times out the week, like, I don't want to be in Jersey. I'm miserable. I hate it here. I'm miserable. Part of people, like, when I said that, a lot of people felt like I'm a dramatic person. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie. I'm a dramatic person. A lot of people felt like, oh, Zanae's being dramatic. But at this point, I was just really just living to take care of my son. That's it. Like, it was points where I wouldn't eat for days. If I didn't have to work, I wouldn't get out the bed. Like I said, I didn't tell nobody, like, this is, other than me saying that I didn't want to be in Jersey because I felt as though me not being in Jersey would have canceled out all the issues I was going through, cancel out all the problems I was having, the feelings I was having, the feeling of alienation I was having. I felt like the world was against me all because of what I was going through with my mother, my relationship. I was working, so like I kept myself up. Like if I did go outside, I looked good. Like, but it was to the point where if it took me from feeling the way I was feeling, I didn't want to do it. And that was the problem in itself. Like, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want anything that I knew was going to make me probably feel better. I didn't want to do it. If it wasn't washing my son, feeding my son, going to make money for my son, I didn't want to do it. It was really, really, really rough. I felt like, why should I have to tell anybody that I'm going through something? Ding, 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 because everybody's going through their own shit, and the world don't revolve around you. It don't. And that's when I woke the fuck up. Like, but I posted that little clip when like it said nobody knew. It was one friend I have that knew. Before I end this, I am gonna say her name. But it was one friend that did come to me like, I don't know what you going through. You ain't been yourself. At this point, I lost a lot. People was like, oh, you look good, you look good, you look like, but when people go back to how good I looked, I don't like to talk about it because although I did lose a lot of weight, people chucked it up to, oh, she worked at the airport. She walked that whole airport all day long. It wasn't all day because like I said, I wasn't working long hours. It was just strenuous on my body, but that wasn't the issue. It was bad. Like I was in a dark place, and I'm just like, I knew I was fucked up when I started trying to rationalize when people did fucked up shit to me. Like, oh, maybe they feel this way, so that, come on, Zanaya, you're not the problem. Don't try to. It was rough though. It was rough. Like, but nobody knew I was going through this shit. And it was just like I said, my business is also somebody else's business. So I private lifed it up. But it took me to get a real tongue lashing from somebody who I respect. For me to wake up, because like I said, I was trying to portray this happy image to the world where the world don't matter. Like, Zanaya, you could barely, because I wouldn't say I didn't want to be a mother, because I wanted to be a mother. But as far as fulfilling every part, I wasn't. Like, I wasn't spending time with my son. Like I said, I jumped from a C-section in February to pushing people's twice my size around the airport. Wasn't eating everything. Like, it was just like, I wasn't being the best me I could be. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm put it like that. If it wasn't trying to fix my relationship, if it wasn't fixing my relationship, I didn't want to do it. However, I should have noticed a long time ago that the relationship was down the drain. But it was just that whole image that I wanted so bad. I wanted everybody to think that everything was just this lovely life, and it wasn't that. Like, at this time, I was losing a lot of weight because I wasn't eating. I'm doing this manual job. A lot of people came to me like, oh, Zanaya, you look real good. You look real nice. However, they don't even know, like, how I feel inside. Like, I got this black ass